Hi Aussie Gamers, welcome to episode 43 of the Aussie Gamers Express podcast, the podcast that apparently isn't good enough for a DDoS attack. I am your host for this week's show, Thorncliff, and joining me this evening is my very good friend from across the sea, Red. How you going, mate?
Yeah, good, thanks, Cobber. How are you?
I am fantastic. So, as you're probably aware, our fearless leader, LewkOne, is out of action this week due to some technical difficulties. He's actually reliving his youth without the internet at the moment. So we hope to have him back quick smart before he goes insane and shoots up the internet. So, yeah.
Well, I thought he was out of commission because he was the one behind the DDoSing, to be honest.
Oh, it could have been. That's probably what stuffed his internet up.
Yeah, IP block.
Yeah.
Get down to Macca's, Luke, come on.
Yeah, that's what he should be doing, actually. You know, he should be down at the McDonald's on the free Wi-Fi. I'm sure they'd find that quite hilarious, him sitting there talking to himself in the corner.
Yeah, I'm playing Destiny next month.
Yeah.
That's the only thing, you can't hook AV cords up to a bloody PS4, so he'd have to take a pretty decent TV with him too now.
Yeah. All right, so I'll quickly go through the weekend preview. So this week's show is going to be a little bit different. We'll do our usual what we've been playing. In the news this week, we'll be talking about the DDoS attack that's taken down PSN network, and there's a new leading lady in Far Cry 4. We've got some Blizzard news and Minecraft being delayed again on next gen. We'll probably have a bit of a conversation about new game DLC announcements. And we've got no what's that sound this week, because I'm really not that tech savvy enough to work out the nitty gritty behind it. And then we'll
get being the operative word, because we'll get there.
Yeah. And then we'll just wrap up the show for another week. So hopefully you are all still here listening, even though there's no LewkOne, and it's kind of going to be a bit of a, I don't know, off-key podcast for this week. But we'll soldier on, and we'll try and get it going. So without further ado, let's go. So, what have you been playing this week, Red?
Everyone else's PS4, mate.
Yes, that's right. Yes, so
I've managed to borrow 2 PS4s this week.
Oh, lovely.
Because we're officially 1 week down of the 2-week promised deadline to get my replacement from Sony.
Oh, okay, that's so you sent it off just after our last podcast.
Absolutely, yeah. Because I waited to the Monday. Because what's the point on sending it on the Friday morning when it really wouldn't move from my postcode till the Monday anyway, so...
Yeah.
But, yeah, I had to kick myself, I went in to pick up Diablo, tissue in hand. And they go, oh, why did you just bring it back here? You would have had a new one the same day. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Yeah. So I wasn't overly pissed off. I was just a bit grumpy with myself that I didn't exhaust all avenues. But in saying that, the way PlayStation Australia handled my query, my qualms, and my emails and phone calls, I was actually more than happy just to deal with them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like they come to the party and they were helpful, and they tried every different resolution. They tried every different way to resolve my issue, but they just couldn't because of it was being a hardware error. And they said they'd replace it. I had to print out a thing in my email, and I took it in, had a barcode on it, and the lady at the post office, she scanned it, and she goes, oh, that comes with 4 meters of bubble wrap in a box. And I'm like, oh, well, there you go. They've even fitted the bill for that, and 4 meters sound a little bit excessive, but
yeah.
but nah, you can add 8 meters to my PlayStation. I don't care, as long as she's safe. I really don't mind. But I've finished Reaper of Souls with the Crusader, the new character.
Yep.
Wicked, man. OP as shit. We're playing it on hard. Like, I jumped in and out of games with different people and whatnot, and just the open connectivity of people just spontaneously jumping in your game and upping your XP and upping the damage that's dealt by the enemies and whatnot. It's rather cool.
Yeah, that was one good thing that I liked about it, was you could just randomly jump into the other games and do that. I'm still to pick up my copy of it yet, but as soon as I do, then yeah, a lot of hours will be put into that game. So
yeah, well, look, it's people go, well, you just jumped into the 4th act. You're only in the first one. I was like, dude, seriously, I've beaten the 4th act 6 times on the PS3. So storyline to me, other than the Reaper of Souls Act 5 DLC or I'd call it an expansion. That's not a DLC. That is a true-blooded expansion, and thanks Blizzard for that, because like a couple of the acts were a little bit shorter. Like second one was a little bit longer, and then the third one was short, and then the fourth one was really short.
Yeah.
This fifth one like covers nearly every different sort of objective-based quest that you got in the first four, and I reckon it took about 30% of my total game time just to beat Act 5.
Okay, so did you actually start as a level 1 character into Act 5?
No, I didn't. I jumped in randomly with someone. I was a low level, and I jumped straight into Act 4. But the Act 5, I kind of reserved just for me.
Oh, okay.
I had a special.
Well, you obviously didn't bring over your character from the PS3. Have you brought any other characters over yet, other than,
No,
or
do you
you
know
just
how
been going with
hard it is?
Crusaders?
Because I was playing on my cousin Pearls. You've ran into him a few times yourself. Yeah. He said, "Oh, look, Red, you'll be right. I'll leave it here with you for the weekend." I went, "Oh man, yours will be going back for being overworked." He goes, "He goes, try it out." But I could, and then I hooked up with Weeksy yesterday for a bit of couch co-op for 4 or 5 hours, and no, I couldn't even bring my Crusader across with my PSN account.
Okay. So I was talking to Luke yesterday, and I think that was, he was saying that you need to put it onto a USB drive or something and bring your characters over like that.
Well, I'm very
Because it's not
much
cloud-based, but I thought straight from the bat that it would be cloud-based, that whoever you logged into, you'd be able to have your characters there waiting, but...
It's Blizzard. Well, I don't understand why it's not, to be honest.
Mm.
But no, I'll cross that bridge when I get my PlayStation back.
Yeah.
But as a whole, I was reading a few things, and they say, with the Reaper of Souls, there's less loot drops, more legendary items. Well, I got more legendary items, and I got like 10 times more loot drops. It's like, this is crazy.
Mm.
But there's a lot of subtle differences too from the PS3 version. Look, I can't comment on the PC version. I only played Act 1, and that was years ago. There's a lot of subtle differences, like different resources required to upgrade your blacksmith and your jeweler and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. I don't want to put a negative tinge on it, but it noobified it. It accommodated to the masses.
Well, I think that's what it needed to do when it came across to break into the market of the console and having the Blizzard games on there, which are traditionally the PC games. I think they needed to noobify it, as you say, because there's nothing really like that on the PS3, or on the console. So they really had to make it accessible for everybody. Otherwise, it had turned into a game that it was too difficult to understand, and yeah. That's why things like...
Sorry to interrupt. The only other time I've heard of that happening in a game series is Dark Souls 2. There was a massive uproar, especially from a couple of close friends of mine, at just how easy it was. Because I have Demon Souls and Dark Souls on the PS3, and fuck me, they're hard, man. They are. And like, who has a limited edition called Go to Hell edition? You know, that really sums it up. It was very, very difficult. But to be honest with Reaper of Souls, it didn't dumb it down. Like, it's not dumb. You still have to, like, associate with the lore and get involved and everything like that. I just believe it was easier to progress.
Oh, okay. Yep.
But then they've added this adventure mode. You know, I'm in there trying to bloody... because there's different currencies you can collect. Soul shards that you can collect, which open Nephilim rifts, if you will.
Yep. And
you go in, so it's basically just a quest you've got to go through, clear it out, purify it, and then pop out the other side. But with the PS4 version, there was the 101 megabyte day one patch.
Yep.
And that was almost solely to cover the Last of Us rift.
Oh, okay, yeah, with the clickers and all that kind of stuff in it.
Yeah, so basically... I read because it even come up on the PlayStation. I had the update details because Luke was asking, because him with tethering his phone, you know, he didn't want too much major.
Yeah.
So I'd done a bit of research into that for it. But that was basically what it was for. So I'm in there when I get a chance, when I have my PS4, and I'm in there just trying to collect this currency of the soul shards in order to try and find it so I can bust out a video on the page and YouTube saying, look, I beat Luke.
Yeah. So you haven't found the Last of Us one yet?
No, I haven't spent much time in it at all because I reckon I put about 35 hours into the campaign. Done absolutely every side quest, every mission, every... Oh, man.
How's your trophy list looking?
55%.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Man, like Luke goes... I love how we can still bring Luke into it because we've still had these conversations with him through the week. He goes, once Destiny comes out, is this going to become obsolete? He didn't actually assume it would. He posed the question. I'm like, look, he was a bit upset that we couldn't play from day dot together. A, because he didn't get his game on time either. We couldn't play and his internet issues. But I said, look, I'll play Destiny with you and Sean and Reprimere and Weeksy and Pierce. I said, that's who I'll be playing with. I'm not really going to play that one player, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I said, so I'm going to be coming back to Reaper of Souls when he's on his blocks at work, I am going to platinum this game. You've heard it here first.
Yep.
I'm going to absolutely work the tits off this game. So as soon as I get my PS4 back, I'm going to endeavour to start one of my 100 hardcore characters, I think.
Nice. Very nice.
So that's about my Diablo wrap-up. Other than that, I've been awfully fickle with game choices. Like I'd start something, I'd go, this is really cool, and then the next night you'd look at it and go, and I'd put something else in. So I've played one level of Devil May Cry 4, I played one level of Batman, I played 3 missions on GTA.
Batman is a game that you need to sit down and you need to play because that Arkham City game is phenomenal.
It is.
It's an amazing game. It still holds up. It's great graphics, great gameplay. The fighting mechanic in it is awesome, and yeah, I love that game.
Yeah, and got the voices spot on, and
yep.
Yeah, I really, because I loved Arkham Asylum.
Yep.
Almost 100% of that, and the other Batman games kind of passed me, so being City and Origins.
Yeah, well, I had Origins on PC, but I can't do it on PC. I'm actually looking at the moment to buy it on the PS3 just so I can sit down and play it. I'd prefer to play it on
console.
The console as opposed to on the PC. And
I concur completely because I'm not much of a PC gamer. Like I've been lucky enough to score a few with What's the Sound before I was lucky enough to join you guys on the cast and make myself redundant for the competition. But I'll get on. The only things I really play on PC are real-time strategy, mouse-only sort of gear. Yeah,
that's what I like, and things like the SimCity and Civilization and all those kind of things. So
point and click.
Yeah.
So that's my week wrapped up. Fickle PS3 play and a whole butt ton of Diablo 3.
Lovely. Well, Luke, I'm disappointed that Luke's not here this week because I've actually finished 2 games.
Oh, wow.
I've actually got the Platinum Trophy on the Lego Harry Potter. So, thank you. And, that was straight after the last podcast. So, I think I was talking about it and I was quite close. And, I just had to do the dueling school. So, I finished that off and got my Platinum. And then I've been playing a bit of the Jack and Daxter trilogy on the PS Vita. Because that was free, wasn't it? Yeah, that was free a while ago, I think, and I hadn't.
Is also.
Yeah, I hadn't played it, so I thought I'll download it. It's a big download though for the Vita. I think it's like 3.7 gig, so that's pretty big, and I'm enjoying it, but it's the camera angles and that it's quite dated, so.
It doesn't hold up with all the freedom we have these days.
No. And it's a Naughty Dog title as well, so it was one of their first ones they brought out. And
it paved the way for everything else financially, really.
Yeah, well, that was it. I think Jack and Dexter originally started on the PS1 or PS2. Yeah, PS1. Yeah, so that was good. The next one I got was I picked up Portal 2 on eBay, so I'd been told by everybody how great a game this is, and it never really interests me. I think I played Portal 1, and it really didn't get me hooked on the series or anything, but from putting this game in and starting it, I loved every second of it right through to the end. I finished it last night after getting all my uni stuff done over the week, so that actually took a back pedal to me playing Portal 2, which really isn't a good thing. But so what it is, you know much about the Portal games?
No, not really. So, yeah.
So there's no real weapons in the game or enemies as such. You have a portal gun, which opens up an orange portal or a blue portal, so you shoot one on the wall and you shoot the other one, and then you jump through and pop out where the other one is.
Yep.
And it's just puzzle. It's a puzzle game. So you go in and
your attraction, actually.
Yeah, it was. I don't know what it was about it. The puzzles were really challenging, and it just drew you in. The story behind it is fantastic. It's got Stephen Merchant. He plays the voice of Wheatley. And Stephen Merchant's one of the creators of The Office. And if you've ever seen the show An Idiot Abroad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the guy with the glasses that's plans all the stuff with Ricky Gervais.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's Stephen Merchant. And the accent and the dry humour that is throughout this game, the whole story, it's just hilarious. I sat there absolutely pissing myself laughing as I was walking through the game, because he does little commentary as you're doing things, and GLaDOS as well, because in the first Portal game you destroy GLaDOS, and in the second one at the start you bring her back, and she just takes it out on you all the time about how you killed her, and just really a lot of sarcasm in the dialogue that we've got. It's also got J.K. Simmons. He's a voice in it, so he's the editor of the paper in Spider-Man. You know, he takes the photo. Beg pardon?
Jonah Jameson.
No, J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons is the editor in the movies.
In the Spider-Man movie.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh,
do you know he takes the photos to him, and
Jonah J. Jameson. That's the character's name in Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Off the ball. Yeah, no. So he's the voice of Cave Johnson, and he's he's like a narrator in doing the voiceover in the testing section in the lower levels and that. So yeah, great. I'll give it 10 out of 10. This game's phenomenal. Absolutely loved it. I've got about 2 trophies left to get in the single player. And then I need to find somebody else has got the game and do a co-op, or get Luke over to do a couch co-op session of it. So,
you won't have to twist his arm too hard for that, I don't reckon.
Nah. It was a great game. It's fantastic. So yeah, that's about my week as well. So
did you finish Wolfenstein?
Not yet.
Oh, damn Portal.
Yeah, damn Portal. Otherwise, it would be finished. Yeah, and also we were talking about it on the podcast. I think it was last podcast or the podcast before, about a snow game. How we'd like to play there was a new game coming out that was like a free roam on the slopes and all that kind of stuff. I kind of went, I wouldn't mind playing another snow game. And I was on eBay the other night, and I think for $7 I picked up. It's not really good, but the 2010 Winter Olympics game.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I thought, it was $7 and it was $1 postage, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, all right, I'll give it a go. Why not?
That's a cup of coffee and a muffin.
Yeah.
Fuck
yeah. I think I'll play the game, and I think I might prefer the coffee and the muffin, but yeah.
I broke so many controllers with the games, like International Track and Field and everything like that.
I think the best ones that you can get are like the Mario and Sonic at the Olympics.
Yeah, I got that on the DS, and the best there, that's download play. I only have to own one, and all 3 kids and myself can all play together.
Oh, okay.
The same with Mario Kart. I think nearly every Nintendo multiplayer release game on the 3DS, you only need the one cartridge.
Oh, okay.
So I've got Sonic All-Star Racing, Transformed, or whatever it is, the Mario Kart, and The one we just spoke about, the Winter Olympics one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's a bargain in itself.
All right, we on to the news now.
We should crack in, yeah, give some
Yeah.
some facts.
Get some facts. The PlayStation Network has suffered a DDoS attack. So this is very recent. This was last night. I was having major issues. I couldn't get online with my PlayStation. So don't worry, you guys, about not being able to get online because nobody was able to last night. So they've come out and they've said that there's been a DDoS attack happen on it. It's a denial of service. If you don't know what that is, that's when it's a program that will basically push the refresh button like 80,000 times in an hour, which overloads the network and shuts it down, won't let any more traffic into it. So Sony has said that they've had the attack. They're working towards fixing it all. Everything's come back up online now, as far as I know, except for the store. But they were doing a routine maintenance on that anyway.
Yeah, this morning.
So, yeah, that's it. So it was a group of Lizard,
yep.
Was it?
Lizard Squad.
Lizard Squad, yeah, that's it. They are the ones that are taking ownership for it. The idiots have actually also tweeted out on their Twitter account.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, they tweeted to American Airlines that the flight that had John Smeedley, the Sony Online Entertainment president, they've tweeted out saying that there's explosives on board the aeroplane that he was travelling on at the time. So this has caused it to divert mid-flight and landed in Arizona, which has disrupted everything, and now the FBI is investigating the incident. So this is utter stupidity, I think. One, because their reasoning behind the DDoS attack was the greed of Sony Entertainment, which I really don't understand. From my point of view, the services offered by Sony is fantastic. The PlayStation Plus that you get pays for itself over and over again with the amount of free things you get. Whenever I've had an issue with anything Sony, they're always quick and on the ball to get it fixed and to resolved. I really don't see any justification behind what they've done.
No, it's just using a scapegoat. But how about with that bomb threat? That's fucking terrorism.
Yeah.
That's what do they call it? Treason.
Yeah, especially with all the up security and all that kind of stuff in America. This is one thing you really don't want to do, is try and screw with an airline, you know. Like, these people will get caught and they'll be put away for a very, very long time, I think.
In a fucking hole, mate.
Yeah.
Well, look, we're not just touching on other current affairs with that beheading and everything. Everyone's high strung at the moment, you know. Oh, they're dickheads. I don't understand. Like, I've had a little bit to do with DDoSing because the kids used to do it on Black Ops so they wouldn't lose and stuff like that. And I actually posted a link on the page today where you can actually go and monitor DDoS attacks on a map. It shows you where they're going to and where they're coming from. Lists all the IP addresses.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not too savvy when it comes to it, but is a DDoS is where they try and send so much information down the line that it just causes your IP to back up, or?
Yeah, well, when it happens, it's like refreshing the page. You send a packet through to the page, and then it sends you back all the information about the page.
Yep.
So when you push the refresh button, it shoots out the information again and back to your computer. So if you continually refresh, the page is trying to send back so much information that it overloads the server, and the server will shut down because it doesn't have enough, well, I don't know if it's called with bandwidth or something to continually send all that information out.
Yeah.
It's just like when you have Maya and Big W and all that do their Christmas toy lay-by. That is semi like what a DDoS attack is, that so many people try and get onto the page at once that it shuts the page down.
Yeah.
Or when you try and get tickets to like a big
Music.
band that's coming out or something like that, there, so many people jump onto the site at the one time that it shuts it down. It's just that it's one person or a small group of people that shoot out, like, make the impression that there's a million people trying to get onto the site at once.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. And then they've taken responsibility. They're very brazen.
Yes.
These guys will get caught. I don't care how many scramblers and IP scramblers and whatnot you have. They'll find them.
Yeah. They're all going to slip up. You've got
Yeah.
to slip up once and you'll be caught. So, yes.
You had stuff on WoW, didn't you? I basically had a launch day for Draenor, Warlords of Draenor. But the thing that really made me happy,
Yep.
because it bends time to reintroduce characters from the Warcraft I know, the real-time strategy and Orcs and Humans, and they come out in November 94. Yeah, 1994, and I loved that, and I never really jumped on the MMO bandwagon, because I was an apprentice and I had kids at a stupid age. $15 a month or whatever the going rate is, it just wasn't an option for me, so I could never carry on that legacy. So that makes me very happy to hear that it's going back to its roots and paying a bit of homage there. But one thing, I'll tell you what, I don't know if you're like me, if you've got, I wasn't on my PC. If I was on my computer, the ad blocker would have stopped it. But I went on today to check out the release trailer for Silent Hill.
Oh, yes.
And that was a 2-minute video, but they had a 4.5-minute ad before it, which was like the lead up, the CG video of Warlords of Draenor. And I actually found myself sitting there watching a 4.5-minute ad before a 2-minute video. And I tell you what, I will post it up. It is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it looks really, really good. They're hinting now that this is going to be the last expansion, and there's also been files found on the Warlords of Draenor for a genie in there, which is the memorial for Robin Williams. So that'll be exciting when that comes out.
So do you reckon it'd have an end game? Even if this doesn't end up being the last expansion, but do you reckon there will be an end game sort of plot?
Maybe a raid or a dungeon that could be end game.
Yeah.
Well, possibly. I really don't know. Like, are they gonna? Who's going to be the ultimate winner out of the war? Is it going to be Horde or Alliance? And I don't know if they're going to leave that up to you. So whatever faction you are, you'll get a different end game for it, or if they're just going to, I don't know, keep on going it. It might even be a patch update. If they decide that they're going to leave it at that, they might bring out a patch later on that'll add in an end game dungeon or a raid or something like that.
Or it could be a movie.
Possibly.
Heard it here first. So did you have anything to expand on that? I know I probably pulled the rug out from underneath you with that one, but I thought that was pretty cool because I had the experience of the video today.
No, not on that one there. In other Blizzard news, those I've got that Microsoft have apparently, they demanded 1080p for their Diablo 3 on Xbox One. So when they did it at E3 and they said that it's coming out, and they actually did all their things and all the videos, and it was demoed and all that kind of stuff in 900p.
Yep.
And then Microsoft turned around and said, "Oh well, no, if you want to bring it out, you need to make it 1080p." So they gave them the code updates and all that kind of stuff to make it to 1080p, which was brought out on a day one patch.
Yeah.
But in saying that, they've had real bad frame rate drops in the busy gameplay areas where it wasn't apparent in 900p, but in 1080p they're having real bad frame rate drops in like big areas where there's lots going on. So
yeah, this is going to come across as prejudice. If I was Blizzard, I would have said, "No worries, we'll just rip it off the shelves, and you can make your money with Tomb Raider, mate."
yeah, possibly. Yes.
But 1080 is evident in Reaper of Souls. I'll be honest, because there has been times when there was 4 of us playing, and especially like with the Witch Doctor, you can conjure up, I think, almost 4 companions at one time. So we've got an 8-person army doing damage against hordes of 40, 50, 60 people or enemies, and it doesn't drop. And with everyone's magic and the auras and the traps and everything going on, I did not experience a lag spike while online, and I didn't experience a frame rate drop. It is fucking beautiful.
Yeah, I'm excited to get this. Hopefully it'll be this week that I'll be able to buy it. So, yeah, I can't wait to see it. I was having massive issues with it on the PS3, trying to get multiplayer to work and all that kind of stuff, and it just annoyed the crap out of me. So I kind of stopped playing it because of all those issues I was having. But all I've heard is good things about the PS4 edition, so I really can't wait to get my hands on it.
I'll tick that box if you want a companion to run around with you.
Yes.
Yes. I do enjoy fucking shit up.
As I'll walk into a room and I'll try and attack something with my level 1 character, and Red will walk in and just hit one button and everything will explode.
Oh. But
yes.
Well, shall we move on?
Yeah, talking about awesome graphics, Minecraft on the PS4 has failed certification.
Shame on man, touche.
Yeah, so they've 4J Studios is the team that's working on it for next gen, and they went in and they submitted it to Sony, and they found a few bugs and all that kind of stuff, and they think they might have to just go back and restart doing it again. So that was supposed to be out this month, but yeah, so Xbox One, PS4 and PS Vita were due out this month, but it doesn't really look like that's going to happen now. So yeah, quite disappointed. I've been looking forward to it coming on the PS4 and to be able to play it on my Vita. Like that'll be me done for a while. If I can play that on my Vita, I won't get any work done whatsoever.
Am I correct in saying I read it didn't pass the PS4 certification?
Yes.
So that means that they didn't get the tick of approval from Sony, yes?
Yes.
So if obviously it goes across the Xbox, and if it's not going to get the tick of approval on Sony, then no one's going to want it, really.
Yeah, well, I really don't understand this. I'm not sure, because I'm not that like into game development or anything, but would it be really that hard to port it to PS4?
Oh, well, yeah.
I wouldn't think so. Like, if it's been out on PS3 and Xbox 360 for so long, surely it can't be that hard to port it.
And let's be honest, it doesn't really drag on your graphics card on a computer.
Yeah. Like they might be making it 1080p and 60 frames per second, and they're talking about the environments will be that big that you'll be able to see for miles and miles, which is fantastic. But yeah, I don't know if they're trying to do too much with it. Should they have released it as good as they could get it and then added things with a patch? Or
well, that's the thing.
I don't know.
Do you know what's always been the big... Well, look, I'm a noob. I'm only having an opinion here because I've never really played much Minecraft. My 2 sons, they've played a lot of it, and I've seen it on computer and read about it, watched videos, Luke's live streams, all the above. Wasn't the total attraction to the game the simplicity of it?
Yeah.
The simplicity of the pixelated graphics, the 90-degree movements... Everything like that, the jump, the swipe, everything. Why overcomplicate it? Because that was one of its major draw cards. It was the simplicity of it. Anyone can jump in to a Minecraft world and instantly start having fun.
Yeah.
Who needs a draw distance of a mile so you can see what they're fucking doing down there? Who cares?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
That's my opinion. Look, I've not played it. I'll be straight up with it. That's just my opinion. That I always seen it as a simplistic, effective game.
Yeah, and it is. Like, I really don't understand why it's taking so long or why. So,
They're overcomplicating it, trying to make it better than what it originally, in essence, of what it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, do you have one?
I do. Ubisoft trying to bring up the releases of their major titles, i.e. Unity and Far Cry and whatnot, simultaneously with the PC. They've really tried to put some resources into bringing the games out, if not as close to international release date with the consoles as with the PC. To just give you a little stat, the 2012-2013 year, they had 11% of their customers were PC, and it jumped in 2013 to 2014 up to 15%. So there's obviously a demand for it.
Yep.
But we're almost about to touch the same sort of thing again. Do they have to make it so much better on the PC? I know everyone's PCs run at different specs and everything. You can buy this for it, you can buy that for it. Where you've got the unified PlayStation and the Xbox, this is what they run out. Develop a game that requires this much power, this much RAM, this much whatnot. Why can't they just duplicate that to a PC, if you know what I mean? Like I understand PCs can run games better, quicker, faster, all the above, and that's their massive tick in the box when it comes to gamers. You get your PC games, oh, it looks better, oh, we can mod, we can do this, we can do that. Well, I'm more than happy for them to have that, to sit atop the mountain and say that, but why does it have to be better? And the other thing, I'm showing ignorance again. I don't understand it because I'm not tech savvy. But why can't that just all be produced the same? Same specs required to play the game across all mediums.
Yeah.
You'd almost erase this problem of the GTA coming to the PC, and the Assassin's Creed titles took ages if they ever did come across, sort of thing. So but Ubisoft are really pushing to try and bring them across to the PC ASAP, if not on the international release date for the games.
Yeah, well, they might be able to do that now as well. We're seeing as this week as well, I think it was announced that they are dropping the Wii U from it as well. So they won't be making any Assassin's Creed, or a lot of the Ubisoft games won't be coming to the Wii U because they just said the demand isn't there for it.
Yeah, Activision pulled Modern Warfare, or Modern whatever it is.
Advanced Warfare.
Advanced Warfare, they pulled that.
Which is a fair call, because the Nintendo gamers, well, you don't buy a Wii to play Assassin's Creed or Call of Duty or anything like that there. You buy a Wii to play your Nintendo games.
Yeah, Mario Kart 47 and Super Mario Brothers 94.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I had a Wii night. Actually, I forgot to mention it. I had a Wii night where we played some Donkey Kong and some Mario Kart. But don't get me wrong out there, guys. I love my Nintendo, but they are rehashing the same stuff. And look, they're making millions.
Yeah.
They can weather the storm of selling 3 major titles a year. Go for it. Who are we to gripe at that? We're sitting back here going, shit, where do I order online so I can save $10 on my game?
Yeah, because I've got 30 others that I want to buy this year.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah.
All right, moving along, we've got Far Cry 4 has revealed the new female antagonist. So her name is Yuma, and she's basically the right-hand lady of the pagan Min, the king of Kyrat. So she's the general of Min's army, and she leads all the military around Kyrat. So we'll post a photo up online of her. She's quite alright looking, actually, for a...
Yeah, well, with how Far Cry 3 ended, you can imagine some of the comments I've seen in the threads when I was looking at photos of her.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they needed it.
Yeah, it's good to see that there's a...
female aspect.
Yeah, especially like after well, I think it was a success of infamous Second Son with the head antagonist in that. What was her name again?
Oh,
Um,
yeah, concrete lady bit.
yeah, yeah, the real nasty one. Yeah,
Wasn't she evil?
yeah, yeah. So no, it is. It's refreshing to see. It's good that there's so many things going around there at the moment about sexism in gaming, and there's not enough leading female characters and all that kind of stuff. And I'm sure that this one here is going to get some kind of flack about, oh, you've put a female in a game, but she's a real nasty piece of work and this and that. But
I ask you, if it was her sitting on the throne on the cover art, would there have been cries of racism?
no.
No. No, there wouldn't have been. But anyway, well, that's a different story for a different day.
Yes.
But yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to Far Cry 4. Things are starting to ramp up for our major releases now this year.
Yeah. So
Really,
we've
really
got Destiny coming next month, and then everything in October, November. So
Yeah. Yeah,
yep.
I'm going to go Destiny, and then Far Cry 4. Oh, Assassin's Creed, then Far Cry 4.
Yep.
That's all I can afford.
Yeah. All right, have you got any more?
I've got one more before we hit that DLC topic.
Yep.
What's his name? What's his bloody name? I have it here. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Cloudhead Games creative director. His name's Danny Unger. Hopefully, if he's listening, he doesn't get upset because I mispronounce his name. But he's part of game development company Cloudhead Games. They formed last year. They're very new. They're developing mainly VR. So obviously they've got no known titles, and I'm able to run off now for people to gain any familiarity with. But he warns, he reckons there's going to be deaths in VR because you look at games like PT and Outlast and whatnot, all these scare, horror, jumpy titles could lead to heart attacks.
Hmm.
And because you're immersing yourself, it was only, I tell you what, it was uncanny. It was only 2 or 3 days ago I was talking to Luke about these horror games and PT and whatnot. I said, imagine whacking a virtual reality headset on and dealing with that shit. I couldn't deal with it 3 foot away from my TV with the lights on, you know? I got up, changed the undies and decided to stay in bed.
Yeah.
So I believe it. Like our good friend Weeks, he's got a bit of a dicky ticker. And he won't play games predominantly that are jump scary because it's just not good for him. He runs the risk of having palpitations. So I see it as being a real logical bloody claim that he's made.
Mm.
What do you reckon?
Well, that'd be very well. I really don't like the idea of VR for those kind of things. Like,
yeah,
it's
just a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, I could see myself getting very sick with things like that. So, yeah, not my cup of tea. And yeah, I seriously do think that the health risks are there as well. So.
Yeah, it's not no longer epilepsy from the flashing lights and ADD.
It's getting a freaking heart attack and
she's stone cold fucking death, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see how that pans out over the coming weeks, and if there's anything else being said, I'll bring us back up to speed in a later date.
Yep. And okay, I've got my last bit of news before we go on to our discussion. We might have a little bit of discussion on this as well, though. But Sony's has now made 10 million sales on the PS4, and Shuhei Yoshida has actually come out and said that he's a bit nervous because he's not sure who's actually buying all of these consoles. So
yeah,
the whole idea behind it is that they were promoting to core gamers, like hardcore gamers, saying, oh, you know, this is the PS4, it's going to have this, it's going to have that there. It's exceeded expectations massively with what they've sold, and now they're a bit nervous saying, oh, well, how do we now market what we're going to be selling if we don't really know who our customers are?
That's exactly right. So, how can we market it to the niche that we're not familiar with?
Yes. So it is a successful console. It's great. I don't know whether it's a fact that a lot of people have jumped ship from 360 straight to PS4, or if it's a whole new generation of people getting on there using the applications like your Netflix and all that kind of stuff on as well. Yeah, like WWE Network and all that kind of stuff. How are they going to continually market the PS4 when they don't understand who it is? So,
well, if I was to have an opinion, I reckon I know why. One of the reasons is that it's selling a lot faster than, say, your initial sales on the PS3. There is a massive price gap between what PS3 cost, being $1,000, to now what, $550 probably with the game.
Yep.
You know, you got to pay for your bloody PlayStation Plus, but as we've covered, it pays for itself. But if you were just going to play games, no online, no $550 you're set. Yep. Where you needed to spend $1,200, what, 10 years ago?
Yeah, well, that was it. When I first got my PS3, I think I paid $600 for it, and that was with one game and a Play TV. So that was $600, and that was about 4 years ago still. And now the next gen's come out, and it's $500. Games are down as low as $60 on release. So it's made gaming more affordable for the masses. So yeah, I think that I think that a lot of people have jumped ship from Microsoft as well, with a whole heap of crap that happened with the Xbox One before it was released, like when they had their DRM woes and they did the big backflip, and I think by that time a lot of people had already made up their mind.
Yeah,
so,
it's still a sizable investment. You're not going to go put it on a whim, really, are you?
No.
PlayStation, look, I'm not bashing. We've been accused of it in the past. I've been accused of it in social life because I just like to get a rise out of people. But they promised, they delivered. They've been honest with me on a personal level, and with this DDoS attack, you know, you look, not to touch back on it, but that whole Tomb Raider saga, that dude's still beating around the bush.
Yeah.
No questions have been answered. He's still coming out, oh, I don't own it, I can't speak for what's going on, rah, 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 rah. It's like, well, give your customers a bit of honesty.
Yeah. You made the decision. You were the one that signed the contract to get the exclusivity of it. How long have you got it exclusive for?
Yeah.
Tell us, be honest.
Because then your Xbox players can turn around and go, oh, well, we've got it for a year longer than you, rah, rah, rah. Well, we've seen it similarly with the DLC for COD.
Yep.
They paid whatever they paid, and they got it a month early since I can remember, since I've ever been in a position to purchase DLC and whatnot. But this is a total flip. PlayStation say what they have to say, promise on what they deliver, hold games back if they're not good enough. Minecraft didn't pass Sony's certification. They have standards.
Yep.
You know, they're not pushing stuff out just to make money. You know, a consumer can feel a whole lot of security when it comes to PlayStation because it's just so honest, it's real, and you get what you pay for. You know, like with the Kinect, we'll drop the Kinect, drop $100. How do we update? They're obviously having issues. They're selling stuff cheaper. They're grasping at straws with exclusive titles. I don't know any gaming developer that would want to put a game up against Uncharted 4, and that's not against Xbox. That's just in general. Who wants to release a game in the same friggin' quarter as Uncharted 4, to be honest?
Yeah, it's not going to make...
It's not epic. It's never going to cut the mustard. Even if it's a good game, you're going to play that and you're going to play Uncharted 4 or vice versa, and you're going to be left wanting.
Yeah, and it doesn't really matter about COD DLC because we get all the DLC for Destiny first, so...
Yeah, how about that? And that's a Microsoft bloody majority company, or at one stage, Bungie. How about that for a flip?
Yeah.
But we've only received honesty. This is what you get, and this is how long you've got it for, and this is how much it costs.
Yep.
Well, with nothing base. Oh, well, some of it will cost. We don't really know about the DLCs of Destiny yet because it's a proposed 10-year IP, really. So we'll just see how that pans out. But you know everything. You've got the facts there. You can make your decision. It's just all this smoke and mirrors when it comes to Microsoft and their sales and why they're dropping prices and why this is happening and the games with gold and everything. Oh, they're lacking. And I feel sorry for it because only with good competition is it going to breed better outcomes for us.
And I can say it as well because I used to be a 360 person. I was 100% 360. And then I jumped ship when I got my PS3 because the Xbox was getting old and had a few issues with it and that. And then as soon as I touched the PS3, I just never looked back really on it. There's lots of things that the PS3 did wrong. I'm not going to say that everything they did was right, but in this new generation with the PS4, Sony is doing everything right, I think. So.
Oh, yeah. Look, I would have killed for the Xbox 360's function of game chat like we've got with the PS4. The PS3 store's real slow and clunky still on the PS3. The trophy system, the off-road.
Trophy system, ugh.
You know, like it's got a heap of things where it was found wanting, but for its exclusive games and its PlayStation-only games and the PlayStation Plus, because that's been alive now for a good 2 or 3 years, I would assume.
Yep.
They've just been constantly giving back, and they've just over the years created a bit of trust, and we now trust what they have to say because we have no reason not to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not sold on where Xbox headed because they've got like the ESPN and the Netflix. It was like an entertainment unit.
Well, that's what it was marketed as.
You know, so
as it's an entertainment unit that could play games.
Yeah, well, and now so just touching back on your initial point, the what was it, 10 million?
Yep.
Yeah, 10 million units sold. Where do they go from here? If it's not broken, don't fix it. You know, and if you turn around and you go, well, that's our first 12 months figures, you're going to have to almost expect it to drop because the hype. I remember early August and whatnot last year, you couldn't pre-order one for release day.
No.
You know, the hype was there, and it was
up here in Sydney. You couldn't pre-order one probably about a month after they announced it.
Yeah, I was all right down here in Tassie because only 4 of us could spell it right.
Yeah. Yes.
But you know what I mean? So, look, where is it going to come from? I don't know. I really hope they don't branch out and throw too many apps at it. Like, I had experience with the WWE Network last week on Monday. I went and watched a pay-per-view with my mate.
Yep.
Perfect. You know, that is a niche market in itself. You know, it's the home and away for the roid heads.
Yeah.
So you got to get amongst it. But as far as, like, because you can use the PlayStation Store, obviously, to buy your movies, TV shows, and rah. But as for streaming 24/7 cable, that has to use juice.
Yeah.
Where PlayStation's turned around and said, right, you can buy it, download it, watch it, instead of per se streaming. I know you can stream it, but you've got your buffer period and whatnot like that. But buy a game, put it in, it's on your XMB, everything on your XMB is to do with your bloody games. That's what it is. It's there for the gamers. So they've covered the market of the gamers. What do you do? Look, I'll turn around in 2 years and I'll buy my son one because I'll be sick of him touching mine, or I'll give him mine and I'll buy a new one.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen over the last 2 weeks, 3 different limited edition XboxOnes coming out with Bulletstorm, Halo, and another one. You know, they're really pushing. You know, we've got a white one for Destiny, like, because Destiny is going to be game of the year, don't game of the decade, whatever. That's warranted. But they're trying to push their sales. They're forcing their product onto us, and now they're trying to force it onto us by snapping up timed exclusives.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel pretty.
There's always been a thing with the Xbox though, is that every time something major has come out, they've done a special edition. Like there's special edition 360 with the Gears of War when it come out. There's special edition Star Wars one when they did Star Wars Connect. They had a special edition one come out. It was white and it looked like R2-D2, and when you push the buttons on it, it made R2-D2 noises. Yeah. So that's their thing. They do that all the time though. But yeah, I'm not sure where they go from here.
Yeah, and PlayStation. Look, we'll just see. We've got to give him another 12 months and check the stats.
Yeah.
I reckon he's been rather coy coming out saying he's worried, but as far as a not development team, a PR and an advertising team of it inside of the company, they probably do have issues because they've set themselves goals and fuck me, they've kicked them all.
Well, that's what they need to do. In the end, my final thoughts on it is that basically just keep doing what you're doing.
Yep.
People have bought the PlayStation to play the games. Just keep on playing. Just keep on making the games. Keep on providing the service that you're providing, and that's what's going to win it. It's nobody's saying that you're doing a shit job at the moment, so you don't need to be worried about who you're selling your consoles to until there's an uproar about it, because people are buying it to play your games, and you're providing the games, you're providing the service, and that's all they really need to keep on doing, I think.
Yeah, and I reckon come after November it'll be re-released with 1 terabyte hard drive.
Yeah, well, that's one of the 360s is coming out, the Advanced Warfare model's coming out with a 1 terabyte hard drive in it, so I think that, yeah.
And look, don't get me wrong, I looked at that, not for the game, but for the price was semi-decent and a 1 terabyte hard drive. You know, look, yeah. I'd love to own an Xbox One. There is a half a dozen games I'd throw through it. I just don't like the controller that much, but I can overcome that to enjoy a game. But, yeah, no, I'm
the reason I was looking at it was for the new Fable coming out, the Halo,
all
and yeah.
But they don't have consumer confidence. That's the thing. The PlayStation has surpassed where they thought they'd be in 12 months, and the Xbox have been found wanting, and now they're making drastic decisions. But let's hope it all works out. Look, I'm not here bashing. I've got a lot more interest and a lot more knowledge on the PlayStation because, well, it's what I do. So, of course, I'm going to know what I'm talking about with a few aspects of it. So, yeah, out there, guys, not to bash on the Xbox. I just hope they pick their game up and we can all benefit from that.
Yeah, because I do want one in the future.
Yeah, who don't? I want a Wii U too to play the 4 games that have come out so far.
All right, we'll move along quickly. We're getting up to an hour, so we'll try and bring it home strong. What was your last?
Well, the last one, Bethesda have outlined a 3-piece DLC deal coming to the survival horror title that has been delayed previously, called The Evil Within. And basically, you can get all 3 with a season pass, Australian dollars, $26 it's going to cost. Slated to come out October 16. I'll be hungover, I'll guarantee it, because the day before is my birthday, so I might get an extra special birthday gift. And buy the season pass. I'll be doing it all. Don't get me wrong, it sounds hypocritical here, but all I wanted to throw at you is I wanted to get your quick 30-second, 1-minute opinion on games like Watch Dogs, all of these that have come out, been delayed, but then they turn around saying, well, we've developed DLC already.
Yeah, well, that's one thing that annoys me about it, is that it seems like that these things could be in the game to begin with. Like, why isn't it in the game if it's an extra level, or if it's an extra like part of the story as to why it's not in the game already? Why isn't it following on? But in saying that as well, I'm going to go back. I'm going to kind of turn back on what I've said in the past about all this, in saying that we are only paying $80 usually maximum, or $80, $89 maximum for a game. And when PS3 came out, we were paying $120.
Yeah.
So we're getting the game, we're getting a full game. They've got the DLC there, so that, yeah, if we want to go on and do that, there wasn't that much DLC or anything like that when the PS3 came out first. It was the full game. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, like once in a blue moon, you might get a DLC package for it or something like that. But the games are a lot cheaper now. They're coming out, and a lot of the DLCs don't have all that much to do with the real main storyline behind it. Like, the first light's coming out very shortly on the PlayStation Store for Infamous Second Son, which follows the story of Fetch. Now, you got a good feeling about who Fetch was, and they developed her character really well within the game. Now, this is just a completely side thing of how she got to where she was, and this is her story. So it's not enough to be a full new game, but it's the story that I want to hear about and I want to play. So
it's almost an expansion, because these standalone games like your Adewale with your Black Flag, I see them as expansions.
yes,
Just being called DLC so the consumer knows, oh, okay, I'll pay money, download it, it goes with this.
yeah. So the DLCs that I see as DLC is like an extra map or a gun or a costume or an extra playable multiplayer character or something like that. But these DLCs that they're announcing that they've got before they even come out are extra levels. They're extra bits of the story and all that kind of stuff. And it probably is a good thing that they have the DLC like this where you can choose whether to play them or not, because if you get into the story you go, oh yeah, I'd like to see what else happens and all that kind of stuff, and if you're interested then yeah, you can get the DLC for it and all that kind of stuff. You have the options there. But as you say, when they're delaying the games over and over again and then come out and going, oh well, here's your game and here's your day one DLC, which annoys the shit out of me because you haven't even got time to play the game before there's actual DLC coming out. So, you know what, yeah, the DLCs that are coming out, which are side stories, yeah, sure, they've got their rightful place, but not as a day one. Give them a bit of time. Last of Us did it right, I think, when they was it Gone Home?
No, it was
DLC.
Fucking Luke's gonna hate us. Left Behind.
Yeah, Left Behind. Yeah. So their Left Behind DLC happened, and you know that was good. They left a bit of time, let it soak in, made you play the game first. So you finished the game, you knew the story behind it, and it's the same as Second Son. It's great that they've let a bit of time happen before they've released this DLC with Fetch, and because it would have been wasted otherwise. If day one they released First Light with Infamous Second Son, there would have been no point because you wouldn't have known who Fetch was. You wouldn't have known the story. And it's the same as The Last of Us. You wouldn't have known what's happened. So day one DLCs, no. DLCs, yes, is my...
You're really anticipating that First Light, aren't you?
I am.
Well, that's good marketing. And Left Behind, I remember when I first started interacting with the page on a Facebook level, Luke was just warming up, gearing up for Left Behind. And fuck, man, this is why I ask you these sort of questions. You touched on it a second ago. Give you the game, get the feel for it, then make your decision if you want to spend the extra $30. I dig that. I didn't look at it like that, admittedly. I didn't. And that's why I wanted to ask you. I said earlier, I'm going to run something by you because it pisses me the fuck off. But now I've got your opinion on it, and I'm like, oh, calm down, Red. Have a fucking drink.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing as well. Like, there's all these the day ones and the season passes and all that kind of stuff. I've never bought a season pass, just for the simple thing is that, like, I think that you've got Trials Fusion, and you've got
I didn't, but Luke and Pierce and all that did, yeah.
Yeah, they got the special edition with the season pass in it now. I couldn't tell you how many DLCs they've got. I think they've only got one so far.
One come out about 3 days ago.
Oh, so it's two now.
Yep.
And you know, I've played the game. I've played it to death. And with games like that there, if I had a season pass, I don't think I'd use it.
No, exactly right.
I've played the game to death. I don't want to go back and, you know, like I guess if you love something that much, then yeah, it'll really do it for you. But you know, the season pass for The Last of Us, you've got a couple of multiplayer maps and some like gun packs and all that kind of stuff in the Left Behind DLC. But that's all you've really seen. There's no been. I really didn't see the value in paying the $30 or whatever it was for just one bit of DLC that I'd actually be interested in.
Yeah. I like the way you bloody stepped outside the square and went, brah, and it went, oh yeah, that fucking makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should wrap up soon.
Yep. Okay, we're done with that. And
that's me exhausted of all my news and intelligence. There's one thing I would like to say, but if I can, and that's to Craig, Tyler, and Will.
across at All Age Gaming.
Oh, yes.
We jumped on and done a bit of a virtual handshake there a couple of days ago, and they've shared us, and we're sharing them, and they've got a major competition running that you guys should all get around. They can be contacted on the Facebook page All Age Gaming or allagegaming.com. So follow them, follow us. You're going to get up-to-minute news from every which way. Fill those feeds full of information and everything gaming related, and we'd just really like to say thank you to them for helping us with the few likes they have over the last few days, and just the general interaction and the overall mutual appreciation for video games.
Oh, awesome. Well said. Okay, so that's it. We don't have a What's That Sound this week, as I said before, because I was, shit at it.
We're learning, people. We're learning.
We're learning.
I
Yes,
could
hopefully.
try and pick the note.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll have LewkOne back very shortly when his internet gets back on. But so now that we're at the end of this week's show, why not take this opportunity to head over to our Facebook page and give Aussie gamers a like. Just go to www.facebook.com/AussieGamers2012. By liking our page, you'll be helping to support all the things we do for the Australian gaming community. While you're at it, you can subscribe to our podcast using iTunes, Stitcher, or TuneIn Radio. Just search for Aussie Gamers. TuneIn Radio is also available on your PS4, so you can listen to us on there as well. You know, if you're not sick of us from your iPhone and your PC, you just jump on the PS4 as well.
Go throw another like to it.
Yeah. If you tweet your life away on a daily basis, you can check out what we've got to say at AussieGamers12. So all of our updates from Facebook go directly through to Twitter. So you can do there, retweet, do what you've got to do on there. That's a pretty good way of doing it. Come and watch our Twitch stream, which is at Aussie Gamers TV at Twitch TV. So there's plenty of sessions up there. I think Red, you were on there the other night streaming away at Diablo 3.
Yeah, I got a good 4.5 hours in, a few conversations with people on the page. I'd like just a quick thank you. Predominantly Stephen Pratt, Brendan Brown, thanks for coming along and having a chat and keeping me interested while I was slaying those mobs.
By searching Aussie Gamers Express on YouTube, you will gain free unlimited access to the Aussie Gamers Video Vault. We have a blog too. Check out aussiegamersexpress.blogspot.com.au for our latest gaming reviews. So we've got a heap of gaming reviews up there. A lot of them, I think nearly all of them, bar about one or two, are by LewkOne. They're fantastic. Get on over and have a read of that. If you prefer snail mail, then you can send us stuff to P.O Box 130, Cranebrook, New South Wales, Australia. As Luke keeps on informing us, please do not send pipe bombs. Dog poo is acceptable. All right, so that's it.
Good stuff. Thanks very much for listening, everybody.
Yes, I hope you've lasted all the way to the end.
I have been, still am, and will remain Red.
I am Thorncliff for this week, your host.
Woo!
Yes. It feels good to say that, hey? Huh?
It does, huh?
Yeah?
Yeah.
LewkOne will be back. He'll take over the reins and hopefully get things flowing through a bit quicker. I think we rambled on a bit there for a while, didn't we?
Yeah, too many.
LewkOne usually cracks the whip when we start going off on tangents.
But he's not here.
Yeah.
But we
All right.
really anticipate his return and appreciate everything he does.
Yes, I'm going to try and edit this show myself this week. But if it sounds a little raw and there's not very good editing done, then that's my fault. But thank you for listening anyway. And we will see you all next week, hopefully.
Beautiful. Catch you later, guys.
All right, see you later.
Sit, UBU, sit. Good dog.